Hi, I'm Lisa. Welcome to my glass studio. In this video, I'd like to show you how quickly and easily you can make a spectacular, really dramatic background with Frit. And then how you might want to take some design elements, put those in front to create a setting and a scene that's really pretty. Here I've got iridized black tree limbs and this beautiful dichroic bird. So I'm going to show you how to make this. My base layer is a 10-inch wide piece of white glass cut into a circle. Now I'm applying opal yellow Frit to the center with a sifter. I'm using powder size Frit and making sure I'm using opal so I have really good color concentration and nice bright tones when this is all together. Now I'm going to apply some orange. I'm going to work that around the perimeter of the yellow, creating sort of a circular shape, a central location, focal point that will draw the eye right to that area, because the eye will always be drawn to the lightest, brightest area. So I've started with the yellow, I've had it slightly off center. Now I applied some orange. Now I'm going to apply some red outside the perimeter of that to create this nice kind of tunnel effect where you visually will look from the perimeter right into the center, exactly where I want you to go. The great thing about the sifter is you get this really soft edge and this blend of colors. It's not a sharp, rigid edge. Now I'm going to add some purple around the perimeter of that because I want to cover the entire piece of white glass with Frit so I have total concentration of color. Now I selected white instead of clear because all these colors will show really well when this piece of art is in the light. If you use clear as your base, sometimes the colors are diluted and they're a little soft and not quite as bright and vivid and vibrant as I like them to be. The circular shape is slightly off center on purpose because that creates tension that makes the design more interesting and more engaging. So keep that in mind. Try to keep your focal point away from the smack dab in the center because that'll make your pieces more interesting. Now I'm adding some navy blue around the perimeter of that. When I apply Frit like this, I make sure I put a nice heavy coating. I don't want to create bubbles between layers, but I want to make sure that that white is completely covered and I have really, really nice heavy color. So don't be skimpy when you're using your Frit because you'll be disappointed when the piece is done and it looks faded and pale and doesn't have that brightness that is really attractive. That said, I apply a nice amount of Frit, but I want to make sure that layer is uniform to reduce the potential for bubbles between layers. So the base is white. I'm adding some Frit. Now I'm going to add some Frit with the spoon to soften those edges and kind of reduce that circular bullseye look and try to kind of bridge some of those colors one over the other. Now I'm using yellow over this purple and blue on the perimeter, and I will retain that color because this is an opal yellow. If you use a transparent yellow and you put it over the blue or purple, you'll end up with a green. I don't really want that. So this application, all these colors are opalescent and they're all powder. And then just apply it, freely as you want to. This is kind of shaking it up a little bit, softening that look, giving it a little more of a sky, kind of feathery, light cloud effect. And I'm loving the way this is coming out. I don't try to this is art. Have a good time. Don't box yourself in. Get out there and just start playing with your materials. And, the wonderful thing about it is you learn something new every time you make something. So even if it didn't come out exactly the way you had anticipated or planned, that's okay. You're learning new things all the time, and that's just wonderful. I'm going to stack the clear layer on top, and now I'm going to add my design elements. Now I did that because when I add these design elements, there are going to be quite a few pieces and I want to glue them so they don't shift when I transport this to the kiln. If I place these right on top of the Frit, they almost always move, and when they move, they disrupt that pattern in the Frit and it's obvious and it's distracting and I don't like it at all. So I put this clear on top so I can, approach these pieces, lay them out exactly where I want to, and if I want to, I can move them a little bit and not worry about disturbing the pattern in the Frit below. The tree limbs are cut out of thin iridized black. I'm using Elmer's white glue. I'm applying it with a toothpick to apply the smallest amount possible to ensure that the glue dries nicely and quickly and burns off without leaving any residue. The bird is cut out of black dichroic glass, and it has some details on the bird, some feathering details and things. What I did was I took a small grinder tip on a Dremel tool and basically drew the designs on top of the glass And in effect, what the Dremel tool did was remove the dichroic coating in those areas. So the bird is a shiny, iridized dichroic look, but then where those details are is just flat black because the coating has been removed. Really cool, fun, easy effect that you can do to apply extra detail, nice little finite detail to dichroic or iridized glass. Now I'm laying out the tree branches. These are also made out of iridized black. And I'm purposely placing these off to one side to create a sense of, purpose here. Like this tree is, the bird and the tree are coming in from one side. These other limbs are on the other side to create a sense of balance. And, these tree limbs are kind of balancing the heaviness of the bird on the other side. I also love the way they kind of bridge and come into that background, creating a nice, sort of organic shapes there. This black is also a nice high contrast color, which really, resonates in the finished piece. So keep in mind, how you want your piece to look in the end. If you want really bright and vivid, use vivid colors and high contrast glass. Now we're going to fire this to a full fuse temperature, and then here it is coming out of the kiln. All right, look how beautiful this is. We've got great color, nice contrast. Look at the bird, how it came to life, that iridized blue-green color, and the details on it. That's just fabulous. Love it. Now we're going to place it in a slumping mold, and we're going to give it a gradual contour, because I feel like a lot of times that contour, that forming, that shaping, really adds to the finished art. And here it is coming out of the slumping mold. Wow, just isn't this so beautiful? I'm using this little tool to remove it from the mold, and I just love the way this looks, and I really feel like the shape and the form really adds a lot to this piece of art. Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed learning how to make this piece and you make one for yourself real soon. The Frit is really fun. When you're working with the Frit, pick high contrast colors. I'm using powder material, and just go for it. Have a good time assembling that project. And don't worry if yours doesn't look exactly like mine. That's okay. It's you adding your own particular artistic twist and flair to it, which makes it really special. So thanks for joining me. Please follow, like, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and please comment. We love getting your comments, and knowing that the feedback that we get is inspiring you to create and be creative. So we love that. Please consider becoming a premium video member. We'd love to have you. You have exclusive content available to you all the time, and we've got great new videos coming out all the time. So we'd love to have you. And until next time, happy fusing.